Hey, you guys, what's up? It's your girl Ashley Tamar with Tamar Talks, and I am so excited. It's a lot been going on in my world, a lot of great things, challenging things, but that's life, right? And so, ironically, my mom was the one who said she used to listen to all my podcasts when she would go to work because she had a long drive, and she was like, "When are you bringing your podcast back?" They were really good, and then I started reading comments about how informative they were, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time to just really carve it out and be consistent. So we are bringing some new episodes for this season, and who better to kick off Tamar Talks than my baby brother Sean Davis, who is a prop master for several of your favorite TV shows and films. Please, y'all, give it up for my baby brother Sean Davis.
Please. Sit down. Sit down. You don't
Sit
have
down,
to
everybody,
clap.
sit down. Y'all don't know who he is yet. Y'all don't know who he is, but y'all know his projects. So Sean, yo, man, like we're in the same city, and I'm so proud of my baby brother because when we found out he was gonna be born, we were like, what? Why are we having a brother? You know, I wanted a brother. My brother wanted a brother, and we were blessed to have Sean. So, Sean, welcome to Tamar Talks Podcast.
Thank you for having me, finally.
See, y'all hear the shade already? Y'all hear the shade, right?
That's what I'm saying. She's been having seasons worth, and I ain't been on one, but it's cool. It's cool. I'm here now, though, so let's get it. Come on.
All right, so Sean has been doing prop mastering. So we're gonna first start with what is that? And then we're gonna dive into how he got involved because a little birdie told me it's like his sister that, you know, God used to help him get there. But Sean, seriously, all jokes aside, tell us what is being a prop master and how did you start?
I'm gonna start off with just props in general. To the public, to the regular viewer out there, props is what you see, cell phones, the money. When you watch P Valley, all the money being thrown, we gotta source that out. We also gotta pick it up every take too, and that's terrible.
Wait, so every take you do, you have to pick up the money and
Every
restart it over?
take. So if you see a scene, let's say in a strip club, and it's like there's no money on the floor yet, and the first dancer comes out, and you call action, and they throwing money everywhere. Every take that we do it at, we got to pick that money up.
But doesn't that cost money to like redo that if you take forever or?
No, I mean, you got to pick the money up. They got to wait for us to pick the money up.
So how many times have you? Give me an example. How many times y'all had to pick up money?
So all the Queens Men with Tyler Perry. So the first night we shot, we had to reset at least 4 or 5 times. So,
but how many fake dollar bills did y'all have though?
Probably hundreds of thousands of fake $100 bills.
But how many
$1 bills? Sorry,
but did you have assistants to help you pick that money up?
Yeah, of course. Some of the ADs helped us. Some of the extras helped us. We had help, but it was a lot. It was a lot to do for 4 or 5 takes. And that's just like earlier that day. And then we had to go back to that scene for another dance routine and pick up more money. But sometimes we got to start off with money on the floor, so it was like, okay, well, it makes it a little bit easier, but for the most part, it was tedious. It was fun though. It was my first time doing a stripper show, even though it was dudes, but there was a lot of women extras in there, so it made it a little bit better.
All right, so tell us first. Tell us how you got, or should I set it up, or you want to tell us how you got into props? Can I give an insight?
Give an insight.
Okay, so one day Sean calls. I think my mom. I was in LA. My mom and I and Sean always have 3-ways. You know, we have another brother, Nolan, but Nolan is always off doing his thing. So Sean, my mom and I always have 3-ways. So one day my mom calls and she's like, Sean just doesn't know what he wants to do. So one day Sean's like, Ashley, how do you learn your lines? So I'm trying to teach him because he went to, tell everybody what school you went to.
I went to several different schools. So just a little backstory. I've always played sports. Sports was my life. Basketball, baseball, football. Went to 3 different colleges, El Camino in California, Compton College in California, and then I transferred to Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach, Florida to play.
Sean, we got stories.
Right. And then I transferred back, for college, transferred back to LA, played at West LA College, and then transferred back to Florida to go to the University of South Florida where I got my degree. But I played sports all my life. So
well, hold on. Let's not overlook that though. You know, Sean has been traveling to figure out what he wants to do, which is what this podcast is about. But when Sean landed at USF, we knew life had changed. So you can't overlook he is a black man who got a degree. And what was your degree in?
Theater performance, and I got a minor in business.
Okay, theater performance, minor in business. All right, keep going.
Um, so after that, I graduated, came home, and didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I said, I've been playing sports my entire life. That's all I knew. I knew nothing else. But yeah, to fast forward, I talked to my sister, which is you, fortunately. But you gave me an idea. It was like, well, you know, I can call Mark Swinton, who is, I think he's the vice president at Tyler Perry Studios.
Special shout out to Mark Swinton.
Special shout out to Mark Swinton. But you gave him a call, and he gave me a chance. And he gave me an interview. I went to Atlanta off a whim. You know, I'm into sneakers too, so I sold a couple sneakers to move out to Atlanta and to put money in my pocket and to pay for rent. But he gave me a chance. He looked at my resume. He was like, "Oh, you got a degree." And I think that was the final defining moment for me when he saw that I had a degree. And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna actually work for me," and it worked in my favor. And history.
I'm trying not to get emotional, you
It's
guys.
2017, by the
Like
way.
we talk all the time, but I've never heard some of these stories Sean is telling. So just like you guys are hearing this for the first time, I'm hearing it for the first time. He said he got his degree in 2017.
No, girl.
No, when did you get your degree?
2014.
Oh, 2014. 2017 is when you met Mark Swinton.
No, I met Mark Swinton in 2000 with you.
Well, I take that back. Sorry.
17 years prior.
He
But
met Mark, yeah, way before that. But when you started working with Mark,
I started working with Mark January 8th, 2018 to be exact, because he said that they were slow and there wasn't anything filming in Atlanta at the time. Mind you, this is the summer of 2017, and he kept his word, and that's something that I really appreciated about him, that he kept his word. Because it's this entertainment industry. People tell you one thing, people tell you one thing and act like they never told you before, they forgot or whatever. But he kept his word. 7 months later, I was in Atlanta doing my first show, which was Have and Have Nots. Yeah, the Have and Have Nots.
so what was your hardest lesson being dumped into that role on the Have and Have Nots? Like, what was a challenge for you? Like, what was something that you just did not know?
Well, I'm going to backtrack too. I originally wasn't supposed to be in props. I don't know if I ever told you that. I was supposed to be in wardrobe. Because,
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. I think it was a production supervisor or whoever. They was like, "So what department do you want to go into?" And I was like, "Oh, I want to go into wardrobe." Because I'm in the sneakers, I'm in the fashion. So I was like, wardrobe is like, that's where I knew I wanted to be. So I get there, and there was a girl named Peaches, she's from Houston. She went to Really Rich High School. She was already there, and she was appointed to me. I get a text message when I get to Tyler Perry Studios. It was an 832 number. And I was like, 832? Huh? I'm in Atlanta. And it was, lo and behold, it was Peaches. And I was like, yeah. She asked me what department. I was at wardrobe. And she was like, nah, we're going to put you in props. And
The rest is history.
The rest is history. I haven't found anything else that I love more than props outside of wardrobe. I've done wardrobe on a few shows, but props is like where my heart is and where all my knowledge is.
So Sean is going to tell a story about, this is when it was endearing to me. Like, Sean and I talk every day. My whole family, we talk every day. But it wasn't until I booked Bruh, and did we talk before I landed in Atlanta? And I did three episodes of Bruh. Right? And so I hadn't talked to Mr. Perry at the time. So I get on set, I do all my fittings and wig and blah, 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 blah. And, Sean, I blatantly told Sean, do not tell people that he's my brother. And it sucks, because being in this industry, some people look at things like when you put your family on, it's something that's like a disservice or it's like a disadvantage. Like they feel like you have an advantage and it's not fair. I've heard that a lot. Like, but I also feel like opportunity begets opportunity. If I'm in the room and I am in the room, I'm representing me, myself, my family, people that I know who I know could benefit being in the room. So Sean, I told him, I said, don't say anything. Don't tell Cassie, when you're on set. He was like, oh, I ran into so-and-so and so-and-so. Unless they knew who he was, they would be like, you look familiar. So I said, don't tell Mr. Perry, don't say nothing. So long story short, Sean can tell his story. I booked Bruh, and I think I cried because it wasn't until I did one of the episodes and he came up to me physically and he had to put like my Chief Linda badge on me, for the scene. And I just was like, yo, this is my baby brother, like putting a prop on me. But Sean can tell y'all the story.
Yeah, no, it was a surreal moment. It was a moment that I've always thought about, but like in a different light. But you know, seeing her on set with me and me actually having to deal with her on set was amazing to me, and I wish I could do it more. But she's not into acting as much now. She's in her other endeavors, which is I don't even want. I'm so proud of her. But it was cool. I got to give her props for the show. She had a badge. Did you have a cell phone? I can't remember if you
I
had
didn't have a cell phone, but I had a computer.
You had a
screen.
computer, but that.
But Mr. Perry, I forgot. What did Mr. Perry do when he came?
Mr. Perry moves really, really fast, y'all.
He moves super fast.
You can't really fix stuff. And he really doesn't care if it's fixed or not. He just wants to get the content out. And I respect him for it. So if y'all see the computer, if y'all watch the episodes and you see the computer and it look a little fugazi, a little off, it ain't because of me. I tried to fix it.
But didn't he? So Sean tried to fix it or something, and then Mr. Perry was like, that's okay. And then he was like, who is this kid? He was like, we don't like this kid. And I was like, that's my brother, but he was joking around. And it said a lot to see even him admire the fact that my brother was on set with me or whatever. Sean, talk a little bit though about like your day in the life. Like I know as a music supervisor, I have certain things like that I have to stick to in order to make sure I do certain things for the music department. So do you get a script? Do you break it down? Like tell us a little bit about your process.
Wait, to go back to your question earlier that I didn't answer, you said what was the hardest part? The hardest part was just adjusting to set life. That's it. Being on set for 12 to 14 hours. That's I wasn't used to that. I used to work in retail. You work 4 or 8 hours, but just being on set and learning about all the different jobs that comes with making a TV show or a movie. But to answer your question now, my day to day. Well, we're gonna start off with prep. So prep is however many weeks or months they give you before we start shooting. We get scripts, obviously, and we have to break them down. And breaking them down consists of reading them, obviously, but picking apart a scene. Say it's a scene where Jack and Jill are texting someone in the same room during dinner. So we would have to prepare the dinner where we have somebody as a food stylist, or we could do it ourselves. I usually, when I'm at Tyler Perry Studios or just at Tyler Perry Studios, I usually cook the food and prepare the food. But also we will provide them, we have cell phones. We'll have some type of application on the phone where it looks like they're actually texting somebody what they really aren't. That's an easy scene.
But let me ask you a question. Do you get a chance to do, like music supervisors, we can curate something when we read a script. Do you guys get to like really decide what the props look like too?
So we have this thing called show and tell. We can put our creativity on it, but at the end of the day, the producers and the director has to approve it.
Right. Okay.
So even if we do something really, really creative, that may not be what the producers want or the direction of the director wants to go. So,
but how do y'all keep a catalog of like an actor who is a series regular and say, for instance, they're using a phone for that season? Like, do y'all have like what is a formula for that? Like,
so we have, it depends on who you work with, but we have character bags or character bins. Mm-hmm. So Ashley Tamar would have her own bin. You'll have her cell phone, her wedding ring, her necklace that she always wears. But then it gets tricky
that's
when it comes.
Though, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's when props and wardrobe like cross over. So you don't. It's so weird because props has watches and rings, but wardrobe has necklaces and earrings. It's so weird. So But like I said, you have a character bin. You put all that in there. If she has a journal that she always writes in, we keep that. What else would you might have? Arm sling, a gun. That's my favorite part of props. Guns. Dealing with guns. Yeah.
So since we're
That's
on
the
that,
war right there.
before we really wrap it up, it's two questions that are really hanging in my head. We talked a lot about the situation that happened on set with Alec Baldwin, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, God rest her soul, the lady and the man, the lady who passed, and then the other guy who got injured. And remember, I asked you, I kept saying, Sean, who do you point the finger at when it comes to a loaded gun on set? So if you can, because you work in the trenches with these type of projects, can you please give a short, like tell people what you told
I
us?
blame I blame the prop master, the assistant prop master, the director, the assistant director, the actors.
That's a lot of
I blame
people.
everybody because we have a safety check. When I bring a gun on set, I bring it. I want to say nose down. Nose down, is it nose down? But anyway, barrel down. I bring it barrel down. Not my hand on the handle, not on the trigger. I go to the assistant director first. I'm like, go to the AD first, and he yells out safety check, gun check. Also an armorer too. If you have a good budget, you would have an armorer where it's like he's separate from props, but he's also kind of with props. It's
Like he's a specialty unit.
He's a specialty unit, specialty for guns and bullets, especially when you go live rounds. Not real bullets, but like, yeah, quarter loads, half loads, things of that nature. But I blame all of them because everybody has to check, and even the assistant director, he shows to the director. He even makes an announcement like everybody, whoever wants, even PAs, you get to come see if it's safe or not, so you can feel safe on set. Even the actors, like you even got to guide them through those situations too, and they should check the guns as well. Everybody should check. I say everybody on set should check the guns.
Wow.
Everybody.
So I mean, so where are you now with? Well, let's ask a fun question here. Can you name down some of the films and TV shows you worked on? I'm so proud of my brother, you guys. I'm just
BMF, uh, Marvel's Ironheart. It hasn't come out yet. Um, just for context, the girl that was in the last Wakanda Forever, Black Panther, the girl that was in college.
Oh yeah.
It's her show. Riri Williams. Shout out to her. Shout out to her name is Dom. Dom, I love you, my baby. Um, have nots. Anything Tyler Perry from the last 5 years, honestly. What else, man? First Wives Club, The Walking Dead. I was actually what you call it? Special effects makeup on Walking Dead. I wasn't even in props. I was special effects makeup. That was a journey too. That was fun. Something I thought I couldn't do, but I actually did it. Man, I'm trying to think. Black Panther. I'm drawing a blank. 6888. That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Tyler Perry show, that movie that they're filming earlier this year.
Did you do Jasmine's Blues?
Jasmine's Blues. That was a fun movie that I did. My last show that I got off of it's called Hysteria. It's gonna be on NBC. It's like I'm not gonna say it. Sorry. I almost ran my mouth a little too much, but it's called Hysteria. You can look it up and see the synopsis about it. I'm not gonna tell you because I signed some papers and I'm not trying to lose no money. We're already on strike, so.
So before you go, like tell people like what does this strike mean to you from the trade industry? Sean and I were talking earlier, and I was like, it's amazing that everyone's focused on the actors, and it is what it is. I've been acting all my life. I get it. The writers, I get it. But people, this is why Tamar Talks was created, was to shed light on the people in trade and behind the camera, and you can't do anything without them, right? So how does the strike affect you, and how do you feel about it? Like
the strike The strike affects me a great deal. We are, I am considered below the line worker. So that's hair and makeup, wardrobe, props, art department, set deck, set decoration, PAs, the production office, grips, electric. So, you know, to be honest, we make a livable wage. Well, not necessarily the PAs, but everybody else, we make a livable wage. So we're not really complaining about that. But at the end of the day, we still need to work. Like this industry this industry is you don't work, you do not get paid. So us being out for my show ended in June. So what's that? I can't even do the math right now. It's not that much, like
July,
4 months.
August, September,
Four
October, like
months.
4 months.
So it's affecting me a great deal. Luckily, I have saved enough money to do what I needed to do, but also I got stuff to do that costs money. So
And not call me. He
right,
hasn't done that since high school. Hallelujah.
haven't called my parents, but they are willing to help me out, and I appreciate my family for that. They understand the situation that I'm in, and they are here with open arms. My mom was like, "Well, you know you can give up your apartment." I was like, "Baby, look, I live in Atlanta. My crib is great. It is made to the T. I'm not giving this up. I can't do it." But on a serious note, I don't know. I'm for the actors and the writers, but my honest opinion is just like, man, it's you fighting evil, man. Like you're not fighting people who are in their right minds, honestly. Like for them to say, you'll come back begging when you're homeless, like that's crazy. And people only asking for a little, like if we have inflation, like keep up with the times, but they want to be greedy. And I tell people all the time, it's like, man, when somebody cut your check, they can do whatever they want to do. These studio heads cut these checks. This is how you get paid.
Yeah.
Netflix is you working on a Netflix show. Them folks at Netflix cutting this check.
Yeah.
And really trying to tell people what to do with their money is crazy. Even though what they're doing is evil, you still at the end of the day telling somebody what they should do. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was demanding you to give them something, are you gonna give it to them?
Yeah. No.
You're not gonna give it to them. And that's just how I see it. I mean, it's unfortunate for all of us, but I pray that we get back to what we love, get back to what we're doing.
All right, y'all. So before we go, I have some funny, quick questions to ask Sean in 30 seconds. The first one, though, to be honest, in like a 10-second answer. As a Black man, what would you encourage more Black men to cultivate, create, discover, talk about? Because you're young, you're only 35, so.
Right. Something I struggle with is just be fearless, man. People gonna talk about you for sure, but like I always say, is I it's I don't know, man. Honestly, just be fearless, bro. Like be fearless.
Well, y'all heard it from my baby brother.
I really can't stress it enough because that's something that I've lived by for about 4 years now, just being fearless. And like if you see it, you can get it, bro. If you can imagine it, you can get it.
And Sean's really telling the truth because I mean, like I said, we have constant conversations, and he's asking like, well, what do I do about this? And I remember when he first became a prop master, it's different being a prop assistant and a prop master. And something my family and I talked about after having a conversation with him was how to even govern people's personalities and their spirits and their energies and their character. And Sean has come a long way. So when he says be fearless, he's really coming from a place of saying like, there was a moment where he would be timid and he didn't even know how to just tell like, yo, dude, you sleeping on the job. I need you, you know what I mean? Or just looking out, So I'm very proud of my brother. And I just hope this podcast encourages you guys, to go out and just do these non-traditional, just go out and do it. And so y'all give it up for my baby brother, Sean Thomas.
And one last thing. I appreciate it, but one last thing, man. When it comes to props in this industry, it is white male dominated. And I kid you not, almost every show that I've gone on, the team is white. Mm-hmm. And people always either think I'm in wardrobe or grip. by the way I dress, actually, because I'll be fresh as hell on set. I ain't gonna hold y'all, but I mean, it don't come from me. It comes from everybody else.
No, I got you.
But my point is like we aren't represented in props. Black men or women, we aren't represented in props. And for people to ask me what department I'm in, and I say, oh, I'm in props, and like, nah, you're not in props. I'm like, what you mean I'm not in props? Like, oh, that's all white people. That's only what white people do. And it always takes me aback every single time that somebody thinks I'm in a different department. And I tell them I'm in props, and they are always surprised, like always. Almost any show outside of TPS, and even in Tyler Perry Studios, people that I've known for 2-3 years thought I was in sound. I was like, how do you think I'm in sound? I'm standing right next to you every day doing prop stuff. They just refuse to believe black people are in props.
Wow. So, well, y'all, like I said, Tamar Talks is bringing y'all straight up non-traditional careers. I am so proud of my brother, not just because he is my brother, but he is the definition of doing a non-traditional career. One more thing, though. Can you give someone one characteristic that you have to have in being in props? Like, what is that one thing you would say, like, yo, if you don't have this, don't even try to get in it?
Be detailed.
Say that one more time.
Be detailed in what you do. Reading a script, even, like I said earlier, setting food out on the table. Like, if you got a piece of chicken on the left side of the plate, collard greens on the right side, and cornbread in the center, like you gotta have that every single time.
Wow.
Every single time, every single take.
But is that your department who photos that?
That's mine.
Do you photo that food?
I set it and I photo it. So if they get to eat and how greedy these actors are, I don't want to get into that, but these actors be eating, y'all. They act like they don't get fed or treated like kings and queens on set. But yeah, when they eat the food, like I got to be ready. This place have to be identical. If I'm have a pitcher of juice, the juice has to be identical, especially if they start pouring. So, it's just be detailed, man.
Wait. One more question. I lied. Who has been your favorite actor or actress to work with?
Monique.
Monique who?
Monique.
The comedian?
The comedian.
Really?
Man, when I tell you that lady...
Oh, we tagging her on this one because people just be going in. I love me some Monique.
Man, Monique's spirit is so...
Really?
Unbelievable, y'all.
Oh, wow. Well, this episode is dedicated to Monique the comedian.
Every day, she would look at me. She met me. I was like, my name is Sean. She's like, I'm Monique. She was like, it's so nice to meet you, Sean. Every day. She's like, hey, Sean. Aww. How you doing, Sean? Good to see you, Sean. Aww. Like, she makes it a point to say your name, look you in your eye, and make you feel like you are at home.
I mean, this is why Tamar Talks was created. I'm so sick of, I'll talk about it later, but that's what I did not like about a lot of my cast members. They never even introduced themselves to the people behind the scenes. And those were the people, they're the ones who matter. So special shout out to you, Monique. Like, seriously, from your bonnet talk about women in the airport looking crazy, listen. My baby brother just said that you're the favorite, and he's worked with.
Man.
So special shout out to Monique. I don't
get into how many people I didn't work with, but 80% of these actors be assholes. So when this strike
on the next episode, we're gonna get into that.
When this strike happened,
Sean and I
gonna
get into that the next one. We're gonna get into the next one on part 2 with Sean Davis. Y'all, for real, give it up for my baby brother, Sean.
And I appreciate you for having me. I love you so much.
I love you
I'm so
too.
Proud of you. For real.